Impact Wrestling Emergence 2022 match card and predictions for you now here on SCW. The show taking place in Chicago this Friday, August the 12th. We've got 8 matches at the time of recording, and the top topic I'll be talking about: will Honor No More be no more? Will they have to disband after this show? But first and foremost, let's go through the matches and I'll give you the predictions. We have a 10-man tag team match. If Honor No More lose, they must disband. Honor No More will be taking on Bullet Club. We've got the Impact World Championship match. Josh Alexander defending against Alex Shelley. The Knockouts World Championship will be on the line. Jordynne Grace defending against Mia Yim. The Knockouts World Tag Team Championships will be on the line. Taya, Valkyrie and Rosemary will be defending against VXT. Of course, Deanna Prazo and Chelsea Green. We've got a special attraction match from AAA. We've got Bandido taking on Ray Horus. We've got what will be a hard-hitting affair between Steve Maclin and Sami Callihan. We've got a tag team match with Violent by Design taking on Chris, Sabin and Kushida. And lastly, we've got the X Division Championship on the line. The winner of Speedball Mike Bailey versus Rocky Romero will be defending the championship against Jack Evans. So that's the match card, and don't forget you can use the chapters feature here on YouTube to skip ahead to go to the match that you want to hear about first, but I recommend you stick through the whole video because we've got a lot of fun things to say about every match going into Emergence this Friday. So let's not waste any time then, shall we? Let's talk about the top topic on the video. Will Honor No More disband? They must do if they lose the 10-man tag team match against Bullet Club here at Emergence. For Bullet Club, we've got Doc Gallows, we've got Carl Anderson, the Impact World Tag Team Champions, Ace Austin, Chris Bay and Hukaleo going to be filling up that lineup. For Honor No More, we've got the leader Eddie Edwards, we've got the tag team of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, of course wanting a tag team title opportunity. We've got Vincent and we've got PCO. He's not human, and he's also the member of Honor No More that Eddie Edwards does not have trust in, because PCO has let the group down before. PCO's had to prove himself to get into this match here on this show. Kenny King would usually be the other one that would be filling in for Honor No More, but he will be on the sidelines along with Maria, watching on what's going to go on in this match. PCO, like I say, beating Doc Gallows in a brutal encounter very recently on Impact TV. In fact, even the ring was destroyed in that match. It was great fun. I recommend people to go and check it out. But the big story here is that if Honor No More, they want championship matches, they want recognition. They were willing to take Impact Wrestling off of TV, and of course Scott D'Amore took great exception to that and saying, you want what you want, you can have it, but you've got to beat Bullet Club here. But of course if you don't, you must disband. Now for me personally, looking at things, Honor No More is a very exciting group. I've been always very hyped about them since they came into Impact. When they started at the start of the year before Eddie Edwards joined, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how long this group was going to be around for. We knew Ring of Honor, everyone had been released, but of course the intention was for them to come back for Supercard of Honor, which they did. Of course Tony Khan was actually to purchase Ring of Honor, so I was wondering, is this going to be like a mini invasion where we're going to get a working relationship with Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling? Everything for me was just really exciting about this group, the unknown identity of what brought them all together when we knew some of them had been rivals in Ring of Honor previously as well. The fact that they actually came into the company, worked their way to get contracts as well to win a 10-man tag team match, and even see Eddie Edwards, Mr. Impact himself, turn his back on the company to join Honor No More, for me was just mind-blowing at the time. It was really exciting stuff, and I really thought it was going to take Honor No More to the next level. I thought Eddie Edwards was going to be a real top contender, a championship contender in the company, but we haven't really seen that play out so much in the short term. We have actually seen as well Honor No More in recent occasions losing a lot of 10-man tag team matches. We've seen, of course, with Slammiversary, they were taking on the Impact Originals, which I suppose for the one-night nostalgia made sense on that show, but against all odds, they did it again. They lost against the Good Brothers, they lost against America's Most Wanted, and of course Heath as well, who I reckon will be on this show in some format, probably against Kenny King, probably in one of the sort of countdown to Emergence matches, which I imagine Heath would win if that was to go down. But going back to this match here then, we've seen, like I say, Honor No More losing, so PCO has been one that's been taking the blame here. He's had to get himself into contention to even get into the match. Vincent sort of stuck by him as well. The question I really asked myself, and probably yourself as the viewer, is what happens then if Honor No More loses? Yes, they disband, but is this a big missed opportunity? This group had so much potential, could have done so much, and just could have blurred the lines so much when it comes to watching Impact TV TV every week. I feel at this point it's kind of almost resigned to the fact that this group is going to break up. Yes, it's lots of different characters that are, you know, meshed in and amongst everything. Like PCO is so over almost as a babyface anyway that it would kind of make sense for him to break away from the group anyway. Vincent, another one that perhaps could work quite well as a mid-card in the heel department. We've got, of course, OGK, the original Kingdom, that could go off into the tag team division. So in its own way, they are different characters that could go off and do their own thing, and maybe at this point it makes more sense for them just to go and do that. But at the same time, I just kind of thought United, this kind of felt like a supergroup coming in, and I almost felt like that this almost feels like it's a shame that we've not seen someone like Eddie Edwards progress back to the top of the card again, because if he's not going to do it for this, well, Eddie's just going to be that sort of upper mid-card guy at best again, and I think that's a bit of a shame. I think that Eddie Edwards, as that sort of no longer Impact Wrestling guy, being the world champion, would have been really exciting. But at the same time, if they pick up the victory in this match, we did see a stare down with Eddie Edwards and Josh Alexander. I'd like that to be the Bound for Glory main event. I'm going to throw that out there now. I think that'd be really, really cool. And if we did get Eddie Edwards win that What's Next for Impact Wrestling, you know, Honor No More actually reigns supreme, I thought would be a really cool direction for the company. But if I'm going to be honest with you, I feel I'm more leaning to the fact that I think this group is going to disband. Perhaps maybe we'll find a way where this group can get championship opportunities in their own right, broken away. Maybe separately it is better. Too many egos, too many people that can't work together. Maybe separately they can actually focus on their individual goals and will accomplish more. But at the same time, it is a prediction, it is Emergence. This is a 10-man tag. It's a match that I think can steal the show, and I think it's got a lot of stakes on it. Probably the most stakes in it, apart from obviously the couple of major championship matches, if you want to look at it that way. But for me, of an excitement level, this is the match I'm most looking forward to. I'm going to say that my prediction will be Bullet Club, because Bullet Club, A, is for life, and B, I just think that at this particular moment, I can see them getting the win. That's Impact would like to push over a group like Bullet Club rather than one of their own, arguably, if you want, at this point. So yeah, I'm going to go for Bullet Club as the prediction, but I really hope, and I will be supporting Honor No More. You can actually, I will tell you now, I will probably jump out of my seat, which is very rare for me to do after being a wrestling fan for so long in the modern era, but I will be jumping out of my seat if Honor No More do pick up the victory, because I do think there's just so much potential with the group, and it just may seem such a waste, in my opinion, to see them break up and not accomplish half of what I think they're capable of. So as a final prediction then, let's go for Bullet Club to pick up the victory, and I'd like to know your thoughts about this topic in the comments below. Do you think that Honor No More should be accomplishing more in Impact Wrestling? What's your feeling on this group? Do you reckon it's just time they disband? I'd like to know your feelings about this in the comments below. But there's a whole card to be talking about, 7 more matches, so I'm going to go and dive into that now and give you my opinion on the rest of the show. Starting with the Impact World Championship, going to go with Josh Alexander taking on Alex Shelley. Believe it or not, Alex Shelley has never had a World Championship opportunity in Impact Wrestling after all the years he has been there. Of course, he beat his tag team partner Chris Sabin one-on-one to get this opportunity. Of course, those two have been teaming with Josh Alexander recently against Violent by Design as well, which we'll be talking more about that later in the video. But it's great to see Alex Shelley get this opportunity. He has inspired so many in the generation. He's a one-of-a-kind professional wrestler. And like he said to Josh Alexander, who's been beating a lot of the big boys as of late, he's not one of the big boys. He's sort of someone that's a lot smarter in the ring, a technical great wrestler. This could be a very different style of match, and one that certainly could be an Impact Match of the Year candidate. Alex Shelley's already had one of those against Speedball Mike Bailey earlier in the year. And Josh Alexander, he's the world champion. He's got the world right now, you know, under his feet. He can do what he wants. He feels like he can do no wrong. He beat Joe Doring, who'd not been beaten in one-on-one competition in Impact up until Against All Odds. So Josh Alexander, he's on a roll right now, and I expect Josh Alexander to remain on that role. As I said earlier in this video, I would like Josh Alexander to face Eddie Edwards in the main event at Bound for Glory this year. It's a great story seeing Alex Shelley go in here, but I don't see him walking away as world champion. But I do think this is going to be a heck of a match. Josh Alexander for me to retain. Next, let's talk about the Knockouts World Championship. Jordynne Grace will be defending against Mia Yim. Mia Yim, of course, winning a number 1 contenders match against Deonna Purrazzo to get this opportunity. These two did try to be teammates after that, but of course it didn't go very well. Of course, they were going against Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green, of course VXT, who they picked up the victory because Mia Yim didn't find Jordynne Grace in the corner when she was looking for a tag. Does that add a bit of friction? Hasn't shown so much in storytelling since then to build up to the story here, but I am looking forward to the match here with Jordynne Grace and Mia Yim. For me, it still feels too soon for Jordynne Grace to drop that championship, and of course we do know Mia Yim at this moment is signed until after Bound for Glory. That means there is time for a championship run here, but at the same time, without knowing her long-term future, if it's going to be long-term with Impact, I do feel to myself a bit reluctant to be confident to predict Mia Yim to go and win the Knockouts Championship during this run with the company. But one thing's for sure, there's definitely a lot of hype around this match. Jordynne Grace, though, for me, will be retaining the championship. We mentioned VXT, they'll be going for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. They've been on a bit of a run as tag team partners at the moment. Of course, they did pick up the victory as well against Mia Yim and Mickie James also, against all odds. And the wild card with this now is that we've got Taya, Valkyrie and Rosemary, the Knockouts Tag Team Champions, going to the Undead Realm to get Havoc back, which of course now is Jessica. Kind of like what we had with Su Yung before, where the kind of change of characters kicked in. Jessica is now a complete new change of gimmick. And do you know what? I'm quite enjoying the gimmick change. It's quite refreshing to see her doing something different in Impact. And it kind of shown a bit of a friction as well with her and Rosemary at this point. We're not quite sure how it's going to play out into this match. And it kind of feels to me that that's the real narrative story about this match. Is the champions with Jessica. VXT have just been picking up victories as a tag team, and I think that's what's going to play out to the story here, because I can see Jessica's kind of one point saying about wanting to party with VXT. Rosemary have to remind, look, there are opponents when it comes to this show. I think Jessica may just turn heel on Rosemary. I think that could happen here at this stage, and we could see that storyline playing out, perhaps Taya, Valkyrie being in the middle. And like I say, Deanna Prazo, no stranger to gold when it comes to Impact Wrestling. I think VXT, it feels like a natural fit for those tag team championships, so I'm going to predict new champions here. VXT to win the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. Next, we'll talk about the attraction match we've got from Triple R. We've got Bandido against Rey Horus. For me, I'm a big fan of both guys here. No strangers to one another either. I've got to say, first was exposed to Rey Horus as Dragon X-Tekker. Easy for me to say in Lucha Underground. And I've got to say, Bandido, I've been a fan of his since watching him in Ring of Honor. These two, if I'm not mistaken, have been Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions at one stage as well. But as an attraction match, certainly this will be. I think it could steal the show, this one. To go over a prediction, I'm going to go for Bandido. And I kind of thought to myself, I wonder if this will be the first of many times these two will be in the Impact Zone. I really hope so. I'm a big fan of both of them. I would like to see them on my screens on a more regular basis. Next, we'll talk about Steve Maclin against Sami Callihan. Now, Maclin did cost Sami Callihan his Clockwork Orange House of Fun match against Moose, of course, against all odds. Maclin disguised himself as a cameraman and actually delivered an assault to the Death Machine at that point. Since Moose and Maclin have denied allegations that they're in an alliance together, but we have seen conveniently both of them actually attack Callihan on more than one occasion. Now, we'll have to see how it's going to play out for me. Is Callihan going to get someone to come and protect himself so we get a tag team feud going forward? Or will the numbers game catch up with Sami and Maclin picks up a big victory here? This is a great opportunity to get Maclin as someone further up the card, get a championship opportunity later down the end. Like I say, I'm predicting right now Josh Alexander will remain the babyface champion. Means we need some strong heels to go for that championship. So I'm going to say that Steve Maclin picks up arguably one of the biggest wins in his Impact career so far. I'm going to go for Steve Maclin to pick up the victory. And like I say, Maclin and Moose, I think there will be an alliance. I think eventually we'll probably get a tag team feud. Hard to pick who I think will be on Callihan's side at this particular moment, but hopefully that could be revealed at Emergence, perhaps after the match, or perhaps in the coming weeks on Impact TV. Speaking of tag team matches, next let's talk about Violent by Design going against Chris, Sabin and Kushida. Great to see Kushida in the Impact Zone, by the way. I think he's going to be a big deal in the company. Of course, he was a tag team partner at one point with Alex Shelley. As we said, the Violent by Design have been sort of rivaling with Motor City Machine Guns in recent weeks. Of course, Violent by Design, without Eric Young here on the graphic you can see, but of course the leader Eric Young wasn't around for a little while. They tried to do what they thought was the Violent by Design message. Eric Young said, look, that's not the case. As you can see, Joe Dory now has lost in singles competition. This world doesn't belong to them, it belongs to us. That's not the catchphrase anymore. It belongs to me. So it's Eric Young's direction. Right now, Dory and Dina have got to prove themselves to Eric Young going into this match. And of course, Sabin was going for the championship not so long ago. Kushida, of course, is a new debutant coming in, has been seen as a big time player since coming in his short term in Impact so far. It makes sense putting these two as teammates as well, both been very close and teammates with Alex Shelley in the past. I think the baby faces will be going over here. Dina will take the fall, and I think that brings a bit more narrative going to the storyline of what goes on next with Violent by Design. Have we got a breakup of this group coming in the near future? Time will tell on that one. Certainly though, for me, it's going to be interesting TV nonetheless. But yeah, I'm going to go for Sabin and Kushida to pick up the W. The last but not least, let's talk about then the X Division Championship. First off, Speedball will be retaining against Rocky Romero. Speedball though, defending left, right and centre against lots of different opponents, which is really exciting to see. Jack Evans makes sense, he gets his chance here at Emergence. Of course, he was supposed to be in the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary, but was pulled last minute due to injury. So he gets his chance here. I don't think he's going to win the championship though. I think Speedball Mike Bailey will be retaining the championship, which I think will be another fantastic match in this show. So that's my predictions there for Emergence. As you can see here on the sort of poster here, we've got Black Taurus there, we've got Laredo Kid, neither been announced for matches at the moment. I think, like I said, Moose will find his way into the Maclin and Callihan match. So it'll be interesting to see if there'll be some last minute matches added to this show. For me, if it was up to me right now, Brian Myers could be defending, of course, his Digital Media Championship against Bujinda Gujar. I expect Brian Myers, though, to retain that during that, even if he has been ducking Bujinda up to this point. I can see Heath going against Kenny King, and I think Heath will pick up the victory there as well. And if we do get Black Taurus against the Laredo Kid, that'd be awesome as well. Both were recently in the Ric Flair four-way in the StarCast event, so I'd like to see them go one-on-one, and Black Taurus has really been impressing me of late. I'd like to see him pick up a victory as well. But certainly, if there are more matches added to the show, I'll try and give you a further update going into Emergence this Friday. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good show overall, and I'd like to know your feelings in the comments below on all the matches we've discussed today, and also Honor No More. Should they stick together? Should they disband? What have been your thoughts of them in Impact Wrestling for the last 6 months? Like I say, I feel a bit disappointed if they had to break up. I feel they have a lot of potential to give, but hey, it is what it is. It should be a big time match, and at least it's good to see some big time stakes on some of the matches on this Impact Plus show. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, share and subscribe to SCW. Check out these videos on the side of your screen right now. Take care, have a great day. I'll see you next time.